It's like, oh, you wrote these jokes 10 years ago. You're just cycling these back
Wait,
in.
you were doing comedy like at the beginning of the Iraq War?
No. I started in 2005. So, 2 years in.
Okay, word.
2 years into the war. Yeah, but, so Diesel, he would tell all these fucking lies. And one time he tells this story about, he's like, so I'm at a bar, right? I'm at a bar, and say anything you want to me. Say whatever you want to me. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna have a problem with it. He's like doing the thing that guys do where they do the tough guy thing, where it's like, you say whatever you want to me, but if you come after my friends, I'll fucking kill you.
Right.
He's like, say whatever you want to me. I don't care. And there's this guy at the bar, and he's talking a bunch of shit. He's like a shit talker, causing a ruckus or whatever. I'm not thinking about it. But then he steps on my wife's foot. And that's just a line you don't cross. So I say, you better fucking apologize. And he's refusing to apologize. So I grab him. I get him in a headlock, and I take him down to the ground. And I get him down to the ground, and I have him there, and I can feel his life slip out of my hands.
What? Yeah. He murdered someone?
because and so people are just listening to Mike tell it because he bullshits all the time. They're like, go on. And he's like, yeah, and the wait staff, they said, Mike, we saw what happened. We'll take care of this for you. And so he told a story about how he murdered somebody at a bar. And the wait staff,
stepping on his wife.
Yeah. And the bar was like, hey, that's Mike Diesel, famous comedian.
Yeah.
We're going to fucking let him go.
Doesn't he have that other thing about the advice?
He told another story about story about being at a fucking bar one time. He's always at a bar. He's always got these like bar stories that he tells.
This was a headliner he was working with?
Yeah, he's working with a young comic named William. Really good comic. Everyone knew this guy was going to be big. And he says to me, Mike, if you just took the impressions out of your act, you would be the greatest comedian I've ever seen. And that was Bill Hicks. And the best part is, he still has impressions in it.
You didn't take Bill Hicks' advice. Oh my god! I had a teacher in high school that was a former LAPD vice cop and a pathological liar. He made up stories. Like we would fact check a bunch of them, but one of them actually we thought was a lie ended up to be almost true.
What was it?
He was saying that during his time in the LAPD, he worked security detail for like movies, and he's like, yeah, I was a big fan of Cosby. We smoked cigars together on set, and I was like, whoa, you worked on movies? He's like, yeah, I was in a couple movies, and we're like, what was the name of the movies that you were in? And he's like, Disco something or other. And we're like, what? So
I don't remember the name.
He's and I was like, do you have the movie? He's like, oh, my fucking ex-wife. She has the movie, But yeah, I used to have it on tape, but and then it was the first time I'd ever used IMDb. I looked it up, and there was a blaxploitation movie directed by this guy Fast Black. And it was called Disco 9000, and he was a vice cop number 2, Richard Warren. He was
that's weird. It's like
this movie.
Pathological liars. They'll have one or two stories that are real, but then they sound like bullshit, like the other ones.
Well, he used to tell us stories that were like, he was like, and then she died in my arms after dropping charges from the scumbag beating and raping her. I finally came and it was too late, and I'll never forget that day, April 31st, 1968. And then we're like, my friend was like, yo, there's no April 31st. That's that's not a day.
Yeah, no, Mike told it. I forget who told me this story, but Mike had said I think it was Rob Mayer. He told Rob Mayer at a party, it was like, he's like, hey, Mike, how you been? And Mike goes, pretty good. Went fishing with the Clintons on the weekend. So he said, him and his wife went, me and Patience went fishing with the Clintons. And so I guess, Bill and Hillary Clinton are good friends with Mike Diesel, the booker of Wiseacres Comedy Club.
The defunct for 6 years. Wiseacres Comedy Club.
So they went fishing. And then at the party later, he sees Mike's wife, and he's like, I was hanging out with the Clintons all weekend. And Mike's standing right there,
And she, his wife looks at Rob and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And Mike just like, in The Simpsons when Homer like is talking to Flanders and his brain just like disappears or whatever. Yeah, Mike just fucking stonewalls him and pretends like it didn't happen. Mike one time he invited me to. He goes. He's like, I throw a party every year. It's the only time I do cocaine with my wife. It's at this party. It's called the East Coast Comics Convention, and basically every comedian on the East Coast is going to be there. Which is like, Mike, that's like 45,000 people. Is it Burning Man?
Coast
What do you
Comics Convention.
Yeah, and he goes, it's at my house out in. He lived out in West Virginia somewhere, and I did a show at Fishhead Cantina. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was in like Rivera Beach or some shit.
Fishhead was in fucking Arbutus or like in Catonsville.
Yeah, that's where it was. It was Arbutus, and so the party was at Mike's house, but after that, and I drove out there. I followed Mike Stork and Cat Malone out to this fucking party, the East Coast Comics Convention. And, but I know Mike's a liar. So when he says every comedian on the East Coast should be there, I'm like, okay, like a couple of guys I'm friends with. It'll be a party, I hang out and have fun. And I get there. There is literally no one.
No, that's sad.